I'm curious how in the changing market, I know right now the market is changing a lot and it's going from, I think it was what, a seller's market to a buyer's market.
Yeah.
How do you stay up with those changes to help the buyer get the most for their money?
So right now, what I do is more critical than ever. A year ago, I would have asked somebody, "Hey, do you want to do some pre-sale renovations?" And this is back when you could put a tent in your backyard, and we would have had like multiple competing offers. Really, didn't open houses. You didn't have to have them; they were just for taking like the highest offer. So back then, I think, oh, I don't want to say, I don't want to sound bad, but agents who weren't doing what they needed to do were probably just getting away with selling it in an as-is state. And what I did wasn't as critical. There was still money being left on the table, right? Because if you don't get a property fixed up, you're not going to be able to command that same sales price, but you didn't have to do it to get it sold. Right now, we're seeing properties sit on the market for months and months and then getting lowball offers. So if time is an issue, definitely what I do right now is more critical than ever.
How do you determine what renovations you do on a home once you end up getting somebody who decides that they need to make some changes?
So it's really a conversation that I like to have with my realtor partners, right? So I would ask Brooke or Aaron, I'd say, "Hey, what's the house worth right now? What do you think you could sell it for in an as is condition versus if we get it fixed up, what are the comps looking like in the neighborhood?" And even then, we may not have something as pretty as what we can do. So we'll just kind of take your guidance, your expertise as a realtor and figure out what that range is. And then based on that range, let's establish like, hey, we don't want to spend more than X. And then what can we do for X? Usually we focus on the kitchen, we focus on paint neutralization. Flooring can be an issue depending upon the property, but we really look at what does the neighborhood command? What does the neighborhood ask for? I have a property that we're getting ready to start on Monday. And in this particular community, the spread wasn't too different on an updated property versus a non. So we ended up keeping these silestone counters. And guys, they are hunter green. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to do paint on those cabinets to help neutralize because even the comps that are selling for top, they all have the same countertops. You kind of have to work with whatever the neighborhood is asking to make sensible recommendations. And that's really more of a conversation rather than a playbook.